Hey there, friends and enemies. Joper here again, and today I wanted to talk about the Sepix Prime Nightfall and why I think it's one of the easiest ways to get a Pinnacle drop in all of Destiny 2, especially for solo players. If you didn't know, with the Nightfalls, they can be hit or miss on whether you can actually get 100,000 points or not, depending on how many ads there are and how quickly and efficiently you can beat the Nightfall. This one, in my opinion, is the easiest to get 100k on Hero with randoms. So if you're a solo player and you can't run higher difficulty because you don't have a team to run with, or they just don't have the schedule lined up, or they don't want to do it, whatever the case may be, that can mean that you might be struggling to get that extra pinnacle and could be the difference between you being max level or not. Max level doesn't matter a whole lot at times, but it matters enough that if you want to eventually get into Grandmasters, it's important to get as many of the pinnacles done as possible. So this is one I really, really like to run. Now, in the beginning there, you're going to want to kill all those ads. You don't absolutely need to kill all of them because you will get about 8,000 points from that. But it is very helpful and gives you a little bit of wiggle room going forward, which is nice, especially if you're playing with randoms like in this, because what'll happen is they might take too long on certain sections, or they might skip ads like in that beginning part. If they run ahead and skip some of the ads, then you're kind of SOL, and you're not going to be able to get as many points as you would like, and you're going to have to make up those points elsewhere. But if you have teammates who are going a little bit slower, it's really nice. Or if you're able to really efficiently kill the ads. So if you have a build, especially this week, because it's arc burn, and that is tremendous. There are so many really good arc builds right now that are able to clear ads insanely fast. I'm running my Heart of Inmost Light Titan with storm grenades, with just infinite ability regeneration, it feels like at times. And you actually throw in an overload grenade with that. You throw in Wish Ender, which I feel like is a fantastic bow right now. And it just makes this all very, very simple. You can't really control what your teammates do when you're playing with randoms, so you just have to be as efficient as possible, but play a fun play style. That's one thing I'm absolutely huge on. I like to play my way, and when I'm making builds, I don't really worry about what the meta build is, even though this is obviously one of them. And if you're a hunter, you can run a melee build, you can run the Ionic Trace build on your warlocks, whatever the case may be. But you can do this no matter what build you're running, especially if you're able to clear ads efficiently. And that's the number one key. The bosses aren't super tanky, they're not super challenging to take on, so you're not really in danger of dying often. And so because of that, a Nightfall like this is like almost a dream scenario. It's got enough ads for you can get plenty of points. It is not going to have any points where you really need to be worried about dying consistently. You might die due to a mistake or something like that here and there, but overall, you really don't have to worry about it, and so that makes it easily clearable. And I think not enough people know about this and are willing to run it, because not only can you get the hero done, but you can also have a chance of getting a Nightfall specific weapon. You can get other rewards as well as you're going through, but the pinnacle is really the key to all of this. And yeah, you can just kind of run whatever you want to run and whatever build you have ready and locked in. So this part, again, just basic ad clear, you can kind of just stay alive and beat this without really sweating. The only danger you got to run into is timing. If you don't get everything done in time, and you won't get the points at the boss, and that's the only real issue that you might run into. But there's plenty of points here, so you don't have to worry about that, and just clear the ads as quickly as possible. I was running a solar shotgun solely for the solar shanks and their shields, because they can be mildly annoying. It's not match game, so it's not super hard, but it's just easy to just shoot one shotgun shell or use one shotgun weapon and break all their shields and eliminate all the ads. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are running this as well. What I will say, this dodge for the Titan is absolutely tremendous, and it comes back so quickly, and there's no long animation that you have to use like with the barricades. And so when you're running something like Heart of Inmost Light, or your cycling abilities, it actually makes it crazy fast how quickly you can use that and just feel like you're just spamming abilities, which is really, really nice. Other than that, these ports are not too hard. Just be careful you don't. I whiffed a lot this time. Like, it was crazy. It was not a super efficient run, and even despite that, it was cleared with well over 100,000. So I think Pinnacles in general in Destiny need a change. That's something else I wanted to talk about. I think everyone's pretty much over the Pinnacle grind in Destiny. I don't know what the answer is, but I do feel like it's time to update this, because while this is fun, I do enjoy getting the 100k Nightfall done with randoms on a lower difficulty, because it feels like you have to do it just right if you're gonna get it done. You could run it at a higher difficulty solo, but I feel like most solo players aren't gonna be really wanting to do that, to be honest. So for me, this is a good time. I do very much enjoy running these 100k Nightfalls with randoms, but I don't know if I feel like they should be necessary, and like I don't know how I feel about the Pinnacle grind in Destiny 2 right now. It just feels a little bit stale, and I'm hopeful that once we get to the Lightfall expansion that we're going to see a bit of a change in how this all works. So over up here, you're going to see me probably do the funniest whiff of my super I've ever done, which is great. But yeah, I think in general in Destiny 2 right now, you feel overpowered, you feel really strong, which is fun, right? I do like the fact that you can do that. Look, I didn't even know you can land up there. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. But I do feel like we're very strong right now, and we're gonna have to wait and see how that works next season, and whether we get toned down at some point or not. But for those who are solo players, for those who are not end game grinders, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we're in a good spot where there's a lot of different options. You can run any subclass, you can run any ability type, any like weapons. And that's one place where we got too far forward and we didn't get that to count with that overload champion, which cost us some points. Luckily it didn't end up being an issue, but that's just something to be aware of. But yeah, I think in general right now the power creep has been pretty real, and there's a lot of fun builds out there, but I still think there's room for improvement as far as challenging content in the Pinnacle grind, right? Like, I wish there were more options for solo players who want to earn pinnacles and do challenging activities, but not have to, like, for example, if you do the Nightfall that's harder than this and you don't matchmake and you do it solo, one of the major issues is that because of how long you have, it can be tough at times to get enough points to get to the 100k. Whereas doing this as a fire team is just more efficient ultimately. And it just works out a bit better. So you're able to get, like, very rarely in Nightfalls will you be at 95k before you're even at the boss. So I don't know. That's just my opinion on Pinnacles. I hope that we get some updates to them sooner rather than later. But until that does happen, that's why I wanted to talk about this Nightfall, because I feel like everybody should be running this if you are a solo player, if you need that extra pinnacle as you get ready for Grandmasters next week. This is a perfect opportunity to get that little bit closer to max power, which is necessary. I'm with that hothead, unfortunately, which nobody should talk about because I don't ever whiff my shots. I don't know what you're saying, but Yeah, I was just kind of spamming it and I didn't really pay attention. So at this point, I knew we were at the 100K and we were gonna get it. So I was just kind of messing around a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know. I really like the strike. I really hope that in general we see some adjustments to the way Pinnacles work, and I really want to see more Nightfalls like this that are fun, rewarding, and able to get 100K on with randoms, because I feel like that'll add value to them. Whereas, like, there's certain Nightfalls that I see and I'm like, I don't want to do this because it's impossible, basically, especially with randoms, to get 100K. It's just not worth it, you know? So that's one of the frustrating things for me personally. That might be something because I don't run the Nightfalls often in a team unless I'm running Grandmasters. Like, I'll set up a team to run Grandmasters, but if I'm just running by myself, if I'm just trying to get these done, I don't do that. So this is a little bit of a rant, which fair, I understand. Like, I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but I wanted to talk about Pinnacles in general and why I love when this is the Nightfall. And yeah, overall, I think Destiny 2 is in an interesting spot where the third season after a major expansion, which I believe is always the time of the year when it's slower. So there's going to be a lot more rant videos, I think, from people. So this is one of them, but this is just kind of my thoughts on it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Watch these enemies still spawning at the end. I don't understand it. But my name is Jopa. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more content from me in Destiny 2 going forward. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good one, and I will catch you all later.